Now, I could have been a gambler, cause I'm good with the cards. I could have been a lover, breaking others' hearts. And I feel so silly, betting on the dice. And a lover seldom see the same girl twice. And that is why, oh, that's why I chose to sing the blues. Yes, I did. Now, I could have been a doctor.
Well, welcome back to the Man Cave Cigar Lounge, live from the poker table. Clint Denny here with my co-host, Jill Morrell. And tonight we are going to be doing a cigar review for you. We are going to be doing the Camacho Ecuador, as it's commonly referred to, the Camacho Blue. As you can see, Camacho does their core line in different colors. And every time they come out with a new wrapper or a new blend, they put it in a really bright, awesome box and wrapper that just pops. The boxes and wrappers pop on the shelf. They're easily noticeable to the eye. As soon as you walk into any humidor, you can tell where the Camacho is. This particular cigar is Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, which is grown in the Andes Mountains of Ecuador with rich soil that's been growing tobacco there for over 2,000 years. The binder on this particular cigar is a Brazilian Fina binder. Yes, I'm looking at my notes because I couldn't have pronounced that correctly without them. And then it has Dominican Ligero filler on the inside of this. As you see the cigar, it's got a nice chocolatey brown wrapper to it. It is an absolutely delicious cigar. We've both had the opportunity to smoke this. Mm-hmm. Jill got one to smoke pre the review so that she could kind of take some notes and go over it as we both do.
Yes.
But was this your first time to smoke this cigar?
It was.
Awesome.
It was.
I have smoked this cigar several times. It comes in several different sizes. It comes in a Robusto, a Toro, a Churchill, a Figurado, a Gordo, and something new that Camacho has done, which is over there, is it's a Robusto in a tube. The Robusto in the tube is a perfect size for the golf course. It's perfect to throw in a golf bag so that you don't have to worry about the cigar getting messed up. It can go in your pocket. And if for whatever reason you did need to put it out and start it up again later, you can. So what we're going to do is we're going to light these up and start to smoke them and give y'all a little bit about them. So we're doing two different cuts on this. Jill is actually using a Calibri V-Cut, which is my favorite V-Cut lighter. I'm using a Cigar Double Guillotine so that we can cut into them and get wonderful cuts on them. To start with, it has a perfect draw on this one. Absolutely flawless.
It really does. I noticed that the other day when I was smoking it. The draw on this was just absolutely phenomenal. A lot better than some of the other cigars that I've smoked recently. So it was quite enjoyable to have.
We'll be doing a video shortly for y'all online that will be kind of some 101 basics for cutting cigars, lighting cigars. Even guys that have been around smoking for a very long time, they wonder, why doesn't my cigar stay lit? Why am I not getting a good enough draw? Why is my cigar coming unwrapped? Why doesn't it do this? Why doesn't it do that? And a lot of times it's just a little thing that maybe they're doing wrong. So the first thing I notice on these is, with it being an Ecuadorian wrapper, it's an Ecuadorian Habano. The Habano wrapper and the Ecuadorian Habano especially are very versatile wrappers. The tobacco itself is very strong tobacco, so it's easy for it to be used as a binder or as a wrapper because it holds up to the pressures of rolling the cigar, pressing the cigar, and the handling of the cigar. So when the rollers are rolling these cigars, it's a lot easier for them to not mess up. Also, these cigars have a tendency to not show imperfections. Just because of the beautiful color of it, the veins tend to blend more into the wrapper itself so that they don't have really pronounced veins through it, and it just makes for a really beautiful cigar.
That's something that I didn't really notice or take a close look at, was the veins on the cigar, but you're absolutely right. They do. They blend in very well They're not very noticeable. And once again, this cigar is rolled very, very well, and it allows it to be a wonderful smoke. Now, I'm getting a really nice earthiness to this. Are you getting that same
It does.
flavor
And,
profile?
and part of that is the Brazilian binder that you're going to get out of that. That Matafina binder has a earthiness, a grassiness. You'll note in probably the first third of the cigar a little bit of leather mixed in, but more earthiness. And
Okay.
then as it opens up, you're going to get some floral notes and specifically some citrus. So we're getting through the first third of the cigar, and of course it has changed flavors just a little bit, not drastically. Of course, every time you first light up a cigar, you're going to get that first bit of burn, that first kind of bitterness that you get in it. You get an immediate flavor change after the first couple of puffs. But this one is definitely getting a little bit of spice on the retrohale, which the Ecuadorian Habano wrapper tends to get. But I'm definitely getting a lot more of the earthiness that you were talking about earlier.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of earthiness, and I'm actually, I'm definitely getting that spice, but it doesn't seem real peppery. And then I'm also getting a really mild, just a little bit of sweetness to it. And I'm not really sure exactly where that sweetness is coming from.
Chances are that is coming from the Dominican Ligero.
Okay.
Is what I would assume it's coming from. The Ligero is where the strength of the nicotine comes from in the cigar. And so you're probably getting a lot of that in the cigar itself. The sweetness would come from that. That's the nice thing about fillers. The binders, they'll tell us, what kind of binder it is, but the filler, you really never know. You never know if they're using a Maduro or a Natural or whatever, unless you just happen to cut open the cigar.
Okay. Now, am I correct? This is a part of their bold line?
This is one of Camacho's bold smokes.
Okay, so
right.
it is a bold.
It is. And the bold smokes have several different lines. They have the Corojo, the Connecticut, the Ecuador, which we're smoking now, the Criollo, and the Maduro. So they have 5 different lines in that. And of course, they have the Brotherhood series, which includes the Liberty that we have out there. This year's 2015 Liberty is a Nicaraguan Puro, which really surprises people that they've done Nicaraguan Puro, and it's almost a perfecto in the size. It's kind of a patented shape that they have for the Liberty. And then they have the custom built series, which uses all the Ditka line, the Ditka Signature, the Ditka 99, the Ditka Throwback, and then it also has their BG Meyer line in it as well.
Wow. Now, my favorite thing about this bold line is just the colors. I mean, yes, they're wonderful cigars, but the colors that they put on these bands and the boxes, and especially these that come in the tubes, for a lady who has a lot of stuff in her purse, something like this, if I'm looking for my cigar, I can reach in, I see that bright blue color, and it just pops out, and then it's easy to grab and find, and that works great for me.
Absolutely, and luckily they haven't done it in the red, so you won't mistake it for lipstick.
There we go. Yep, because that would happen.
So we're getting down into the final third of these. And the one thing I'll say about them is they do hold a really, really nice ash. They hold a really straight ash on these as well. Mm-hmm. It's got a razor burn on it. No construction problems with these cigars whatsoever. They burn perfectly, which means they're wrapped perfectly, which means the filler inside is absolutely amazing. The binder's perfect. And that's what happens a lot of time is I was made aware of this by a rep, a little piece of knowledge, is that when the filler is put together and then they wrap a binder around it. Well, a lot of times as they wrap that binder, I'll kind of demonstrate with this, they'll wrap that binder around and sometimes that binder will go too far or they'll roll it back. So you're going to have one piece around the cigar that's one layer of binder, and you may get over here and have 2 or even 3 layers of binder on the actual cigar. And that's where you get a process that's called canoeing. And so it's where the cigar burns very unevenly. A lot of times you can fix it by touching it up or depending on how you lay the cigar in an ashtray. more oxygen getting to that side will fix the cigar. But that's an imperfect constructed cigar. These, as you can see, it's perfect. The wrapper's perfect. The binder, just a real enjoyable smoke.
Yes, Camachos, they certainly do a very good job at making sure that all of their cigars are premium and they are rolled correctly. And I've never had a problem with any of the Camachos that I've ever smoked.
They have a new cigar that's going to be coming out that's actually called the Shellback.
Oh.
So
Okay.
when you see this, you're going to look at it and go, wow, because it is going to pop out in the humidor more than anything else. They've
All right.
done it in a lime green box
I like my bright colors.
with a lime green wrapper.
All right.
And it's called the Shellback. It comes in the 6x50, which is very similar to the size we're smoking. Well, as we're finishing these out, we would again like to thank John and Liz Productions. These have been phenomenal cigars. We want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with us. We're at the Man Cave Cigar Lounge, live from the poker table. I'm Clint. This is Jill. Y'all have a great night.
Bye. See you next time.